Good morning. What is going on, Profitable Stylist? Thanks for tuning in this week. We have with us a very special guest. We have with us RJ, who
Special
is
ed, maybe.
the brainchild behind the operation of what we do every week. So Bernard is out. He's on the road, so he's not going to be with us this week, which is fine. We miss him as always. Hopefully he'll be back next week. He may not be, but the show must go on, as they say. We have an interesting thing going on this week. There was a question that was asked that was sent in by a user and listener. I don't know what the question is, but apparently it's an interesting question.
Yep.
So this is going to be a reaction video. This is going to be a reaction comment. It's not going to be the full hour today, but let's see how this goes. RJ, what's good morning? First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Before I start
Bernard
yelling at
is
you, or I
Bernard
don't know
is
what I'm going to be doing at you.
yeah. Bernard is out of the country, so it's a shame. This would have been a perfect question to have you, Bernard, and John on because it it. I mean, we got it about 10 days ago, so I've since calmed down, but it definitely got under my skin, and
Okay.
I've tried to reach out to the viewer, no response, because I wanted to kind of see where she was coming from. So um, let me just go ahead and read it instead of paraphrasing, and then I'll give you my 2 cents worth, and then I'll get your reaction so you have a little time to think about it. So, all right. So this is a email from a viewer. It says, first of all, the subject is, I bet you won't read this on the live. So that was funny too. I
Whoa. Okay.
almost just deleted it, but it's like, all right, reverse psychology, you win. It says, Mr. Profitable Stylist. My stylist recently moved to a rental salon, and I was shocked when she charged me the same price for my hair. Is this price gouging? I've done some research, and now my stylist is making over $80 an hour after her expenses. I think she should be charging me less. So, first of all, let me give you two answers, but the quick one is price gouging is when a seller increases the price of a product or service to an unreasonable or unfair level during a time of emergency or disaster. So, first off, no, it's not price gouging. But I think what she might be asking is my stylist charging me too much or an unfair amount? The answer to that is also no. So it sounds like a case of possible jealousy to me. Um, if your stylist is making $80 or more an hour, I
You
hope
got me
she
on this one,
is.
RJ. Oh my God, my blood pressure is into the roof right now.
I know. It, so my gut reaction is her stylist could potentially be making more than her, and she's angry about it. Uh, but just to cover a few things, if you don't like it, just go to another stylist. Supercuts or whoever charges less, I have no idea. If you like the way your stylist is doing your hair, then it's worth it. Your stylist can charge whatever she wants. And if you don't like it, find another stylist. This whole, I think price gouging has become a political hot topic term that is overused and used in a wrong context, and it just gets under my skin. So, what do you think about our viewers' question as a stylist?
Okay, I can answer this as a stylist. I can answer this as business. I can answer this as a profitable stylist. I can answer this multiple different ways. I'm gonna tackle this multiple different
Go
ways,
ahead.
and I'm gonna inject a personal opinion. Oh wow,
I know. Now you know how I felt
wow.
when I read it.
Okay, why is it? You know what pisses me off? People brag Oh, I love my stylist. Oh, I love my stylist. Oh, she's my world. Oh, that's what you need in life. You just need to find yourself a good lawyer, a good stylist, and a good doctor, and you're set for life. And it's like, okay, well, if that's the trifecta, then why do you step on the stylist the most out of everybody else? Why does the doctor get the respect? Why does you know, well, I guess lawyers don't get respect. See that's the thing, right? They have
Their fees, you don't hear them complaining about lawyer fees.
they don't complain about the lawyer
Right.
fees. They say, oh, lawyers are sharks or whatever the hell they say about lawyers. They have like a stereotype, but that's expected. And a doctor, ooh, that's expected. But the hairdresser, it's always this BS. It's just a trim. Can you squeeze me in? Oh, you were in a car accident. Oh, you're in pain. Oh, you're laid out. Oh, you just had surgery. Oh, well, can you come in a wheelchair? Can you come on your crutches? Can you stand? I'll come to you. It's always this thing of we are a service industry at such a high level that this level of freaking expectation of subservience it really irks me hard. It really, really does. And then you see all these people, they're like, oh, I love going to see my girl. She does my hair so great. I love her, and she's so cheap. And you brag about your stylist being so affordable, not affordable, excuse me, cheap, cost wise to
Right.
go see them. I never hear, every time I hear, it's like, oh, yeah, no, I go to see, oh, yeah, no, I get my hair done too. No, she's so expensive. Very rarely do I hear, oh, she's so expensive, but she's worth it. I don't hear that very often, but I hear the freaking bragging to the heavens. Oh, yeah, it's so cheap. It's so cheap. And then over a freaking dollar raise, you raise your price. The amount of phone calls I get from hairdressers asking me for advice on how to go about raising their price by $1 because they are freaking terrified. Listen, people and lady and whoever you are too. Your hairdresser had an anxiety attack over leaving that salon to go solo. That was not an easy decision to be made. Even the stylist that stays in a commission salon goes to the owner of the salon first and says, I want more commission. I want a raise. And the owner of the salon will say, no, your commission percentage is fine where it's at. Raise your price because the cost of doing business and the overhead is out of control. Why okay, cost of doing business and out of control. No, you got me going on tangents now. Eggs is $5. Okay, you're complaining, but you're still freaking buying it. You go to the restaurant, it's 100 freaking McDonald's. They just released an earnings report that's had investors kind of creeped out a little bit. You needed an average median income of $15,000 to $20,000 to afford eating at McDonald's. Now you need to be making $30,000 to $40,000 to be able to afford eating at McDonald's. Okay, so everything, inflation is through the freaking roof. The stock market, the economists are freaked out about the strength of the dollar. The whole world is on tippy toes trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Okay, and you think your hairdresser should be making the same 10% profit margin or 3% or 5 less than 10% profit margin that she's freaking making. That's what we should be regulated to. When somebody goes to rental, it's actually a far worse situation than it is working at a salon. Rental situation is it's a false positive situation for 85 to 90% of the stylists who go into booth rental situations. We talk about it on this channel all the freaking time. Okay. What it takes to remain profitable in a rental situation requires far more involvement than it does being a commissioned stylist in a proper salon, like a normal thing. There is studies, there are multiple studies that show that a stylist that goes into a rental situation within 3 years is not even in the industry anymore. Forget about not in a rental situation anymore. They leave, they exit the industry, they forfeit their freaking license. Half of them don't even maintain their license anymore. It's a freaking license trade by the state
Right.
board. Like a plumber, I'm getting loud. Excuse me. Like a plumber, like an electric. It's a proper trade,
Right.
man.
And
You
that's when the
know,
wrong stylist goes to rental at the wrong time, you
this
know.
is the problem.
But
This is the problem.
let's back up
Now,
a little bit because you were talking about doctors and lawyers. Because I
so
agree with you. Let's talk about doctors. They get respect that a stylist doesn't get. Um, and there are some stylists making more than doctors because, they're good at what they do. But why do you think that respect's not there?
no, I don't. I know exactly why. No,
Okay,
no,
why?
I know exactly why because I've studied this. Okay, doctors are trained to be neutral, to have empathy, but not to show sympathy. Does that make sense if I say it that way?
Yeah, I
A
think the
doctor
biggest
cares,
factor.
but their bedside manner is very neutral. They're not, so, and I'm not saying every doctor, I'm generalizing, but doctors are trained not to be overly nurturing or overly feeling. They have to deliver cold news, cold hearted news. It's not the greatest news all the time. They have to deal with people's pain and they're dealing with, again, I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to be, I'm not doing a shot against negative, against doctors. They practice medicine. They don't do medicine. It's like that Dr. House show, like the diagnostics. They got to try something to get a result, to try something else to get another result. Eventually, after enough symptoms, they find the root cause. Okay. They don't care how you feel. They don't care emotionally or physically what pain you're going through. They're just trying to find out what the hell's wrong with you so they can fix it. And eventually you'll feel good. And eventually you'll feel better in your head too. Us, we touching you. We have to touch your head. We have to touch, your scalp. We have to massage. We are making physical human contact. I'm not saying sexually. I'm saying emotionally. There is a level of intimacy that is exchanged between the stylist and the client relationship in that client stylist relationship. And that mental intimacy brings feeling, emotional feeling and attachment to each other. We overly care about our clients. We're not just physically making you look good, we emotionally making you feel good. Okay. And that feeling, unfortunately, a lot of people do not get that touch or they don't get that emotional attachment in their personal relationships with their family, with their partner, with their children, with their own friends, with their colleagues from work, with society overall. Okay. So when they're coming to the salon, it's like a sanctuary from reality, and you get to have that fantasy that you are important, even though it shouldn't be a fantasy. That should be every single person's reality. You should feel important. You should feel you rock. You should feel you are awesome and you are loved and wanted and appreciated. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. But you come to the salon, bless your heart, if I ain't going to try to make you feel like you number one at my own freaking expense. I don't care what pain I'm in that day. I don't care how annoyed or aggravated I'm in. I don't care how stressed out I am. Out the door with that, it's about you. This is you. This is about you. And I'm trying to make you feel good. We all hairdresser, stylists, trying to make you feel good. All service people trying to make you feel good. Okay. It comes at a cost. It comes at a financial cost. It comes at an emotional cost, and it comes at a physical cost. Doctors don't do that. They put in their tenure. They're doing their job. They work in 100 hours a week, and medicine is expensive because they're being ruled by the insurance. Well, guess what? Excuse me, the beauty industry is expensive too because we are ruled by the world's cost. Okay? Yeah, you don't get to write this off as a copay, but guess what? We don't get benefits. We don't get 401k. We don't get retirement. We don't get insurance. We got to pay out of pocket, or we got to figure it out ourselves. All right? Or we got to go get our own freaking we don't get group insurance, from provided from companies. We don't have retirement. We don't have IRA. We don't have 401k. We don't. We rely on Social Security, but the IRS freaking hates us because we're primarily a cash business. So the whole reporting thing is out of control as well. On top of that, we have to get educated. We have requirements by the state. Color is the overhead supplies. I don't think people appreciate the overhead supply cost. And then now you're in a booth rental situation. Electricity. I don't know what you're got in Illinois. Our electricity company is called ComEd. They're going to double their rates at the end of the year. Double their rates. Okay. Then you got gas because you want hot water when you get your hair washed. Now we have additional insurance. You got to have license. You have to have by the village. You got to have insurance of LLC or S Corp or however you have incorporated yourself for a business, for a solo business. You have taxes. You have your own lawyer. There are so many things involved. That's just the financial side of it. Physically, we put in 100 hours a week as well, okay? Because at the end of the day, especially if you're solo, it's a commission business. Commission means you get paid for work done. If you show up to work, you get paid. You don't show up, $0 for the day. All right. And then there's the mental. I got to talk to you for an hour. Then I got to talk to the next person for an hour. Then I got to talk to the next person for the hour. And if I see 10 people in a day, yeah, guess what? I just had 10 unique mental stress events to my day. I'm not saying they're all negative. Hopefully, majority of them was positive. Regardless, I exerted myself in 10. I'm just hypothetically saying on average, people do see 10. A lot of stylists see more than 10 clients a day, but I'm just even number, right? You're exerting yourself 10 times a day, just client to client to client, and you got to shift gears up and down, left and right, depending on what that person wants to talk about. Then you got to go home. You got a wife, you got a kid, you got a husband, you got boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the hell you got. Now you got to deal with that. Then you got your family. If you got a family, you got to deal with that. And if you don't have a family, guess what? You got to deal with the fact that you're alone and you don't have a family. Because a lot of people make fun of me and they're like, oh, you're so lucky, huh? You ain't got parents anymore. Yeah, you know what? But I got to be jealous of watching everybody else interact with their freaking families. So yeah, being alone sucks just as much as having a family and complaining about your family too. Then you've got the physical. I'm bending over, I'm standing up, I'm crouching, I'm this, I'm that, my neck, my shoulder, my back, my feet, my legs, my knees. I don't know. You're 5 pounds overweight. Yeah, that starts weighing on you really freaking hard. You're 5 pounds underweight. We don't get lunch. We don't go to the freaking bathroom. You know how many hairdressers are freaking on laxatives and probiotics because their freaking system is all messed up? They can't go to the bathroom properly. Like they can't have regular movement. We're jacked up on freaking coffee and slamming energy drinks and cigarettes and nicotines, like stimulations. Skipping freaking lunch, can't have a balanced freaking diet, blood pressure through the roof. Okay. Now, what is the value of getting your hair done? Who dictates that price? Because there is a price for everybody. Why does a cheeseburger get to cost $13 freaking dollars when not a year ago it was $5? Is that not price gouging? No, that's just inflation and the cost of doing business. That's excusable. You love your stylist so much that God forbid she makes an extra dollar and you're not happy about that. If she's even making an extra dollar, because your stylist probably didn't think it through. I hope she thought it through. I hope it's whoever, girl, guy. I hope your stylist thought it through 100% when they decided to go into the booth renting situation, because now they are responsible for government tax, Medicare, Social Security, federal and state, not just their own. They have to pay the business side of it as well too. I hope they thought about that. And they got to pay their own workman's comp, even though they're self-employed. I hope they thought about that too. No, you're not making 80%. What did you say? 80% profit or
Well,
$80
she has
extra or
no
whatever?
idea. She's saying $80 an hour, but it could be
$80
more,
an
it could be
hour.
less. She has no idea.
And you know what? This whole $80 an hour thing, I'm so sick and tired of TikTok, whatever the crap it's called. Okay. If you do 4 clients and and you make $320, you're like, oh, I just made $80 an hour. You put in a 4-hour shift. That's not real. Divide it out by a proper 8-hour day. And guess what? Hairdresser is 12 to 14 is a normal standard day for a hairdresser. Okay. It's not, we don't have banker 9 to 5. Bankers don't even work 9 to 5 no more. They work 10 to 4. We work 9 to 9. We putting in 12 hours. We ain't messing around. Okay. So you want to take, that and divide that out that way? No, we ain't making no freaking $80 an hour. And you know what? Bless their heart. If your stylist is making $80 an hour, you should be oh so freaking happy for somebody
That's what I'm saying.
that they're able to freaking do that.
Oh,
You
she
should be
is.
overjoyed to be part of that person's success, because guess what? That person who's successful, their mentality, their mindset, their positivity, their motivation, their energy is different than the average crap that you deal with on a daily basis when you go out there into the world. When you surround yourself by people who are successful, automatically by osmosis, you absorb success from successful people, man, because you just that energy flows to you. You become better without even realizing, because you're listening from a different perspective. You're listening from a different viewpoint. You don't sweat the small stuff, as the expression goes. You start opening and expanding your mind to bigger things and possibilities for your life. And you just get better. You are better. You be better. That's what's freaking amazing about hanging out and surrounding yourself with winners. Okay. If your circle is surrounded by complaining people all the time, unfortunately, something is messed up. And the people, control comes with a cost. What are you willing to give up to take control of your life? A lot of people are not willing to give up a lot of things because it's scary and it's hard. Losing family, losing friends, losing income at the cost of doing it for yourself, for your own personal happiness, your own mental levelness, and your own physical health comes at a great cost. And not everybody appreciates or understands the sacrifice that you're trying to do to make yourself good. And you will lose family and friends and income in the beginning. But I'm telling you from personal experience, give it 10 years, give it 20 years. It gets better. I am living proof. I am the profitable stylist of proof that you can start your life over 3 times. I'm on my 4th go at life of losing everything and having to start all over again. Unforeseen circumstances, unfortunate circumstances, avoidable circumstances. But if your mindset is straight, you can do it. Okay. Now, madam, If she's charging you the same price, what's the difference? I would suggest to you that if you truly appreciate and like your stylist, you should be happy for your stylist. This whole thing about people's earned income and this whole thing about tips, it's one and the same argument. Actually, I take it back. It's not the same. That's a different argument. You don't want to tip your client, your stylist, don't tip your stylist. Okay. Some people are like, oh, you're the owner now. You don't get a tip anymore because you're already making enough. That's a BS argument. If you want, it's not required. A tip is a monetary show of additional appreciation above and beyond services rendered. That's all a tip is. Okay. Now, with the services rendered, it's the perceived value to the proprietor, in this case, your stylist. She feels, or he feels, whoever your stylist is, feels that that price, whatever is set, is what is required for that stylist to live their life, pay their bills, and do what they need to do and be able to be available to you, the client, as you need them to be available to you. If you, the client, perceive that value to be too high, then yeah, you are not obligated to accept that price. Like you said, RJ, go somewhere else.
Yep.
You did. And for the stylist listening, actually for the client listening, look, for everybody listening, this actually works for everybody, okay? I have this conversation with my with Carmelina's cousin all the time. The kid is trying, well, I say the kid, he's 26 years old now. He's trying to branch out and do a business in his own. He's terrified. He don't know what to do. Somebody looks at him sideways, he gets scared, oh, that person didn't like me. Now I'm going to fail. No, dude. In America alone, okay, this is my advice. In America alone, there is over 450 million population. We're coming up on 500 million population. Do the math. You only need 1% of that population to do business with you. And if you calculate that math, you're never even going to get 1% to do it. But that's your potential. Okay? And if you can get 0.5% or 1% of the population to do business with you, you'll be a millionaire. You won't need any retirement or anything. You'll be swimming in money. Financially, emotionally, you will accomplish something tremendous, that you got that many people to do business with you and know who you are. You should feel proud of yourself. And then physically, you'll be able to afford a personal trainer, man. So you could be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You'd be working out every freaking day if you want to, right?
Complain about their prices.
and right. And that's exactly, so there is a price for everybody. There is a service for everybody. There is a product for everybody. You may look at something and say, who the hell would buy that? Somebody else, the next person, is going to look at that and say, oh my gosh, I need that. It's the same thing with politics. You might hate the person, the next person loves the person. It's the same thing with religion. Somebody believes, somebody don't believe. It's the same thing with music. I hate that stuff. I love that stuff. I hate him. I love her. Whatever. Choice.
Right.
You have choice in this life. Okay. I've said this advice, and this is where I'll close with. This will be my closing argument. My friend's father gave me this advice, and I've said this advice before on this channel. In life, you are here wherever you end up being. You have to accept that this is where you are. When you are here, it does not give you the right to look at somebody down lesser than you and talk smack about them, talk trash about them, or be snobby at them. Equally so, it does not give you the right to look at somebody who's got more than you and think they are better than you and try to tear them down either. You are here. If you have a problem with somebody lesser than you or somebody better than you that you perceive lesser than you or you perceive better than you, take that person lesser than you and bring them up to your level, or lower your level down to theirs and be equal with them and shut up. If you're here and you're jealous of somebody you think is better than you, got more than you, or is whatever than you, don't tear them down to your level. Go up, move up to their level, be equal with them. Now you're from here, you went to here. Now you're up here. Shut up, because now you're here. You're at that level. Wherever you end up is where you end up. And basically, shut up and deal with it. That was the advice my buddy's father gave me. That advice was given to me in 1995. Okay? We were junior. We were going we were going into our junior year of high school. That was that summer of 95. And he basically, our freshman and sophomore year was just basically chaos. We were just little punks, and he had had enough of it. And he goes, I know you're not my son, but you're here enough, so you might as well be my son. I'm gonna let you have it because I'm gonna let my kid have it, so both of you get in the yard and let's gonna have a talk. He let us have it. He used a lot more colorful language back then than how I did it, but basically you convert that to today's sayings. Stay in your lane, mind your business. All right. And if you got a problem with somebody else, that's a you problem. That's not a them problem. Deal with it. And if you don't want to deal with it, well, leave everybody else alone. And if you do want to deal with it, reach out positively to get help from somebody else.
There you go.
That's a rant. Now you got me on a rant, man.
Yeah, this email to me just seemed like a severe case of jealousy. I find the whole college degree thing comes into play. Your stylist doesn't have a college degree. People don't understand the training and the work that they put in and how physically demanding the job is. But again, your stylist can charge whatever they want. A stylist can come out of school and say, I'm going to charge $10,000 per haircut.
And
Now,
they'll
will they
find somebody.
succeed?
If somebody will pay it.
Will they succeed? Probably not. 10,000 right out of school, or they could charge $1. Will they succeed? No, because they can't cut enough hair. If your stylist is charging too much, it's a temporary situation because they won't be a stylist for long. That's what determines pricing. You charge too much, you won't make it. You don't charge enough, you won't make it. So in this particular case, it seems like this lady was happy with the pricing until her stylist went to a rental situation and all of a sudden expected a discount, which to me is unfair. But I'm extremely biased. I mean, we started this channel to help stylists. When we started this, the average income for a hairstylist was 22,000 a year. Now it's 38,000, which is still low. So, if you disagree, please comment below. We would love to have a conversation. I wish this woman would have agreed to come on live because I would like to get some feedback from her where she's really coming from. Because to me, it just seems like jealousy, and I can't stand when people look into other people's pocketbooks. Like what somebody else makes is none of your business. You're either happy with the service or you're not. And if you really think she's overcharging you, go somewhere else. Go back to the salon she left. They got stylists there who know you probably, but get over yourself. It's likely that her stylist is making more than she is now. And that's why I wanted to ask her some questions. But this is definitely a gaslight topic for me because like you were saying, there's no benefits. It's physically demanding. Your stylist is working hard. if you were happy paying that price a year ago, why should it go down now? And this whole price gouging nonsense that's a political hot button is in most cases absurd. So that's my 2 cents. I would love for people to comment below if they have another take that I might be missing, or if even if you disagree, I'd like to hear from you.
I'll tell you this way. Uh, if anybody ever does want to come on and discuss with us, you know, I'll keep it level. I'm not a debater. I actually, when somebody has an opposite viewpoint of mine, I actually do get strongly interested. Like you're just asking directly my opinion, so I get hot and bothered. But when I'm actually discussing something with somebody and it's opposite from mine, my curiosity goes through the roof. I want to learn. So yeah, if definitely if somebody's got a
Oh,
different viewpoint on this than what we got, oh, absolutely, you're right. I agree with you.
yeah,
I'd love to hear it because I want to learn. It's how we get better. It's how you win. It's
I,
it's how
yeah.
it's how you grow.
We could be missing something. I mean, she sent us what, 3 or 4 sentences. I would love to see if I'm like, convince me that your stylist should be charging less. I'm more of the pro America. In the long run, everything works out financially. Nobody's underpaid or overpaid.
It's
In the
capitalism. The market will
long
correct
term,
itself. Yeah.
yeah, the market votes. So I would, and if her stylist is charging too much, she won't have customers for long. But um, like you said, you hang around with your top 5 friends, and that's their average is probably your income. Well, imagine your stylist that has to sit with 8 people a day and they're all negative. I guarantee you, when this girl switched from salon to rental, she wasn't thinking about dealing with this. Her longtime customers asking for discounts because she's at a rental salon now. Like
She
this,
was counting on her longtime customer clients and customers, being there to support the move. That's
yeah.
what she was
And that's
really
one of
counting
the
on.
issues when they move to rental. They think they're going to keep everybody. And not like this woman, but a lot of customers don't move. A lot of customers die. They move out of town. And that's
Attrition.
the you were talking about the 80, 85% of the people that don't make it in rental. That's the kind of stuff they don't understand. You're going to lose cost if you can't grow your business. Stay at the salon you're at. But the pricing thing to me is completely irrelevant. It's absurd. That stylist is paying for continued education. She's learning constant. She didn't say anything about, my stylist doesn't do a good job. None of that. Just she moved to a rental salon or maybe a booth. I have no idea. And now my price should be cheaper. Makes no sense to me. That's why I wish she had come on live. I'd love to hear it. So
I would have I would like that would be cool. I would have a proper discussion. I wouldn't get anything. We wouldn't try to gaslight or anything. We would just have a proper discussion to try to come to a conclusion. Because that's how you learn.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you learn.
Put in the comments below. We'll put you on a live next week, and
I'll
love
do it.
love to hear what we missing. Because it's possible. I'm just very biased. The reason we started this channel is because most stylists were struggling. So
And
for your
still are.
stylist to move to a rental salon to try to better herself, if you're ready and prepared for that and have the skills, I say kudos. Rock and roll.
You know what I forgot to say, RJ, to this person who commented? Thank you. Actually, thank you. Thank you for taking the effort, the time out of your day to really think about it, right? Like this bothered you. Whoever you are, this bothered you. And you actually took the time out of your day to think about us. Yeah, okay, you're a little snarky with the subject. Oh, I bet you won't read this on the live, but hey, it's okay. You know what?
She
Um,
knew she knew what our answer would be. That's why she
Right,
didn't think we would
there was
read
an
it.
expectation
But
in there, right? But
right,
but but she still sent it in. So I applaud
yeah,
you. Whoever you are, I applaud you actually. Thank you for doing that because I don't agree, but I appreciate you bringing it to our attention because like we are discussing right now. Now I got to go sit there and have a conversation with 10 other stylists, have this conversation all over again at the salon when I go in later tonight myself. and I got to take a survey, and I got to see from clients and from the stylists that I work with at the shop that I'm at. And I want to take a survey. I want to ask, what is other people's opinions? Where
Right.
is the other perspective? So yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you
we're,
indeed.
I mean, it's the name of our channel, Profitable Stylist. We're very pro stylist biased. So tell us what we're missing. If you're out there as a viewer and not a stylist, tell us, tell me what I'm missing. I'd be glad to respond. Keep the language YouTube friendly.
No,
Put it in the
we keep it
comments,
level.
and we'll reply.
Yeah,
So excellent.
very good. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Again, I do appreciate that comment now that I really think it through afterwards. Now I'm calmed down. Uh,
That's why I didn't
as,
tell you ahead of time.
man, you know, that was a sideways. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.